So there are some updates out of Fani Willis's home state of Georgia. They've been real busy this legislative session.
Dozens of new bills passed by state lawmakers this session now await Governor Kemp's signature.
The Republican-controlled legislature had already passed several priority bills, including a measure to protect religious freedom, tort reform, banning biological men from competing in girls' sports, and a school safety bill.
Why am I not surprised the media missed the most important one? Georgia bill would compensate the wrongfully convicted and allow Trump to recover costs of his election case. Georgia's Senate approved a bill Friday that allows criminal defendants to recoup their legal costs if the prosecuting attorney in their defense case is disqualified for personal or professional misconduct, a description that recalls the Fulton County prosecutor who brought the felony charges against Donald Trump. Fani Willis, anybody? Next step is Governor Brian Kemp's desk for a signature. So it's sitting on Brian Kemp's desk, ready for a signature. You guys think it's any coincidence that this comes right after some of Fani Willis's biggest failures? I want to get into the details of this bill and how the compensation works, but real quick, let's just go over some of Fani Willis's biggest accomplishments over her last term, because honestly, how she got reelected this last year blows my mind. Everyone knows she got disqualified from her own Trump RICO case.
A Georgia Court of Appeals has disqualified the Fulton County DA Fani Willis from that election interference case. It's coming down right now.
And then you guys remember she had to pay up for dodging Tom Fitton in Judicial Watch.
Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis was ordered to pay over $20,000 to a conservative watchdog group. The order to pay originated from an open records case from the conservative group Judicial Watch. The group asked Willis's office to provide it with documents pertaining to possible communications with the Department of Justice Special Counsel Jack Smith. Superior Court of Fulton County Judge Robert McBurney ruled Willis's office violated Judicial Watch's open records request by categorizing identifying responsive documents as exempt from the request, but previously saying none of these documents existed.
And then on top of that, she was ordered to pay nearly triple what she paid to Judicial Watch.
The breaking news, a Fulton County Superior Court judge has ordered District Attorney Fani Willis of Fulton County to pay more than $54,000 in fees to another attorney.
That attorney, Ashley Merchant, is the one who brought attention to Willis's romantic and business relationship with Nathan Wade.
Man, Fani Willis is on a streak, isn't she? She couldn't even stick Ladyboy Young Thug with jail time.
Fulton County District Attorney's office is moving on after failing to get convictions on most of the charges in the YSL case. DA Fani Willis, who just won re-election a month ago, is keeping quiet about how that case turned out. Well, 11 Alive's Doug Richards joining us live at the courthouse. Doug, do these acquittals affect how effective the DA is going forward?
Wow, man, she's really on a streak, isn't she? I mean, that's quite the record of achievement. She's managed to accomplish one of the most consistent records of failure that I've seen from any of these anti-Trump DAs, and considering how life has been going for them recently, that is quite the achievement. Seriously though, how much do you guys think this is going to end up costing Fani Willis's office at the end of all this? Because 2 episodes ago, we looked at some numbers, and we were looking at anywhere from like $6 to $30 million that she could be paying out for all of this. RICO cases are very complex. There was like 18 to 20 defendants that Trump's team of lawyers had to coordinate with on the defense. I mean, these are a lot of billable hours. A RICO case gets extremely expensive. In the end, how much do you guys think this is going to end up costing Georgia taxpayers? And how much do you think that's going to end up affecting Fani Willis's re-election? Senate Bill 244, originally inspired by Trump's election interference case in Georgia, officially, I guess, was later amended to revive the Wrongful Conviction Compensation Act, a stalled House bill that was aiming to provide reparations to people wrongfully incarcerated. House lawmakers on both sides of the aisle have faced an uphill battle for their efforts to properly compensate those who have been wrongfully incarcerated. The process is currently done on a case-by-case basis through individual compensation resolutions that have to get sponsored by an actual member of Congress and then pushed through one of the chambers. It has to go through a full legislative process like any bill. So if you're wrongfully incarcerated and a court actually rules that you've been wrongfully incarcerated, you can't normally file a lawsuit and get your money from the state that way. You have to find some legislator who's willing to sponsor a bill that the entire state of Georgia's House votes on to say, are we going to pay this person back? See, this is what I don't like about that. Fani Willis's coffers are already brimming with cash, so why are we going to make the Georgia taxpayer foot the bill for Fani Willis's failures? And this whole situation reminded me of when Colorado passed their Police Accountability Act, which if it's determined that a police officer has violated your civil liberties, you can actually personally sue that police officer. Now, a lot of that gets covered by the state in Colorado too, but the police officer has to pay a minimum of $5,000 out of that lawsuit. And for your average cop, that's a lot of money. And Fani Willis is getting so much more in campaign donations. I mean, she's got big piles of cash that she's sitting on at the job, that she's sleeping on top of at home. So I just think it would serve as more of a deterrent if Fani Willis had to foot the bill. I mean, whoever takes her place next would have to think, hey, if I press the boundaries like she did, I might have to foot that bill too. It's wild Fani Willis couldn't even prosecute Young Thug right, man. I had a whole section that I ended up having to cut, getting into just hip hop culture and how fake it is, segueing off of that. Just know that most of these gangster rappers out there are completely fake. They're into dudes, and they're into being the bottom. They're not hard. They're a bunch of lady boys faking it. Nothing wrong with being gay. I would never judge someone for being gay, but it's hard for me not to judge someone for being fake. You guys rock. I appreciate you joining me, and I'll see you on the next one.